Hello, thank you again for watching. This is the Diaspora panel where we are the voice of the diaspora. We discuss Nigerian politics every Sunday. And thank you for coming to this meeting today. I want to welcome all the panelists today. I want to welcome Mr. Ola Lawal, who is based in Canada. Mr. Lawal, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Thank you for having me.
I also want to welcome Mr. Ademola Adisa, who is based in the United Kingdom. Mr. Adisa, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Thank you very much.
And also the last but not the least, Mr. Olaitan Adedigba, who is based in the United States of America. Mr. Adedigba, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Yeah, it's my pleasure being here.
Thank you again for all our viewers. Thank you for all our subscribers. Thank you for all those new subscribers. In the last few weeks, we saw a lot of new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. And we want to encourage you to tell all your friends. If you're one of our viewers and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit that subscription button. It's free of charge. And click the like button if you like our video. It's all free of charge. You are not being charged for it. If you subscribe, it means that when we do our next video, you will be one of the first people to know about the new video. Today, we're going to talk about the ongoing PDP crisis. And we are going to ask the question, who is the real problem in PDP? Who has caused this problem? Is it Wike that has caused the problem? Is it Aju that has caused the problem? Or is it Atiku Abubakar, who, despite the fact that he should not be on the presidential ticket, has pushed himself in? That is the problem. Who is the problem? Who is the real problem? Who should resign? Is it Wike that should resign? Is it Aju that should resign? Is it Atiku Abubakar that should resign? And I'm going to start with you today, Mr. Olalawa. Now, we saw Atiku Abubakar, the former vice president of Nigeria, after he lost the election in 2019, he went to Dubai to go and live in Dubai. And thereabout, after when it was time to contest again, he came back into the party. Even when when the constitution of his own party says that if somebody from the north has been president for 8 years, the presidency should go to the south. And we saw that in 2019, because the presidency was zoned to the north, nobody from the south contested the election. It was left for all those northern politicians. And this is the time now, like they did in APC, like they agreed in APC to zone it to the south. It has presented himself, and then this has nobody to this. So if you look into your binoculars, who do you think is the main problem in PDP?
Thank you very much for having me this morning. I think the issues around the Yocha Ayu resigning from his current position as party chairman would have been a non-issue if Atiku Abubakar didn't insert himself in the contest for the party's ticket for presidency for this time around. I think, as you earlier alluded to, the agreement was that this time around it will be zoned to the south.
Can you increase your volume a little bit, Shuko?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I think the problem we have is that Atiku Abubakar inserted himself into the arrangement, which was a gentleman's arrangement, but was even enshrined, as I understand, in the party's constitution. He upset the balance of things, and as I've always said, that I don't think Atiku Abubakar is a leader. I think he's an opportunist. I think he has his own interests and he will pursue it, to the detriment of his party or to the country. The right thing to have done, if you know that you have upset the natural balance of things based on agreement, is to look out for ways to address concerns with aggrieved parties. And one of them would have been to zone or ask the chairman to step down so that a southerner can be elected. Now you have a party where the presidential candidate is a northerner, the chairman is a northerner. So Southerners within the party are feeling, okay, well, this seems like a northern party. And it's a very, very legitimate concern. He has not done anything to to allay those concerns. And people might say, well, they have talks. Talks mean nothing without any concrete action. I mean, talking to somebody and saying, just take your place in the party, we'll come around to do whatever we can for you. We think we have time. It does not demonstrate leadership. He has not demonstrated the ability to address the concerns of the party, unify the party together around the same common goal, and concentrate on the next main item, which is to kick off the election. So, in my opinion, I don't think Iyocha is the issue. I think Atiku Abubakar is the issue. He upset the balance of things based on earlier agreements. His lack of leadership, we've seen, has basically not been able to resolve the crisis. And I think the only way to address this issue is for him actually to step down and allow the party to select a southerner as the presidential candidate. I don't think that's ever going to happen, and I think that's going to be the Waterloo for PDP this election cycle.
Thank you very much, Shupo. Let me come over to Ademola Disa in London. Ademola, I know you are very politically savvy. You know what is going on in Nigeria, even though you've been in the United States for over 20 years. When you look into the PDP and the crisis they have in, do you think they've shot themselves in the foot? And who do you think is the problem?
Oh, thank you, Deji. Yeah, they actually shot themselves in the foot. That is a fact. The problem, as I said earlier, is the violation of the party constitution. And where does it happen? Because if you remember, the executive primaries took place before the presidential candidate nomination. So the party followed its constitution when they were elected to the party national executives. And that is when they make sure that the power rotates the other ways, they swap it around. That is where the chairman came from the north and the secretary from the south. So they kept the constitution of the party as at that level. And it was when it's now the term of nominating the presidential candidate that they now went ahead to violate the party constitution by jettisoning the zoning system, which they agree on, which they use in nominating the party executives. So, and that is where the problem comes in. That means the problem of the party is initiated by the usurping of that constitution by jettisoning it in favor of Atiku. So the problem of the party is Atiku, and it's not Wike or Ayu. Because if Atiku have respected the party and abide by the party constitution, it should have not even contested that election. But because they bypassed the party constitution to favor Atiku's participation and also manipulate the primary to favor his eventual nomination, that is the root cause of the problem. So, Ayu or Wike have done the right thing, but it's Atiku, and I don't think he deserves it. Not only at the party level, even at the national level. It's not only violating the pillar that holds the country down, together at the party level, but also at the national level.
Thank you very much, Demola. So, Lighton, you've had those are very, very good, views being expressed by Lawal and by Demola Disa. So, when you look at what they have said, now Atiku is a politician who enjoyed this zoning system in 2015, and APC, when he was in APC, the presidential ticket was zoned to the north. He contested. He enjoyed that zoning. Went to PDP in 2019. The same thing, there was zoning, was zoned to the north. He enjoyed it. and actually won the presidential ticket in PDP in 2019 and contested against Buhari. And he not only enjoyed that zoning, he was part of the zoning. He was one of the people who orchestrated that zoning, and he enjoyed it. He got the ticket in 2019. But only in 2009, only right now, and towards 2023, now for him to turn around and say that he doesn't believe in zoning and that the president. So now there's a crisis, and the whole world is now seeing Wike and Ayu, facing themselves and talking against each other. But are they the real problem in the party, or is it Atiku that is the problem?
Yeah, the real problem is the silence of the board of trustees member, the NEC, and all these people, right? Who are supposed to speak out, who are supposed to act, but they refuse to act. Like law of cause and effect. One thing we always lead to another. If those people are parted, right, at the time they should have parted, but there would not be any problem now, right? Or no circumstances is in the constitution. Like, I mean, we all know that it's in the constitution that there should be a rotational presidency in their constitution, in PDP constitution. But those people, because of the money, money power, right? Because money, Atiku is throwing away, throwing here and their money, right? So nobody dare challenge him that no, it's not your turn. You have the chairman from the north, you have the secretary from the north. Why should the presidency come from the north too? Right? But when they were there, they were all throwing dollar. If you can remember, then it was the Atiku, their convention that led to the dollar from moving from 500 to 700 and something, right? Another convention of APC too. So, everybody, if one Igbo guy even said it, that nobody, why did the Atiku won the election? One Igbo guy, one of the leading candidates, said nobody can stand the threat of dollar. Right? So it sounds so funny, but that is the truth. Everybody, when they got the dollar, everybody kept quiet. They should have spoken out that no, it's not your turn, Atiku. It's not the people from the south too. They should have said no, Atiku cannot contest this election. When they have the president, when they have the chairman there, they have the secretary there, Ayu is there, and all these people. But Ayu too, they collided, everybody they collided, and they supported Atiku. Right? So that was the beginning of the crisis.
Thank
So
you. Thank you so much, Lighton. So, Shupo, I'm coming back to you now. So, I want us to leave aside all the side attractions. Let's look at the man Atiku himself. This is somebody, we don't even know what kind of certificate he has. They said he has a diploma in something. We don't know what kind of certificate he has. This is somebody who calls himself a unifier. He cannot unify his party. This is somebody who, anytime there's any problem that he wants to solve, the only way to solve the problem is by throwing money at the problem, by offering people money and then silencing them. Now he has met somebody like UK who cannot be bought with money. And then the other wicked supporters, he has now met people that he cannot bribe, that money is not their problem, and he doesn't know how to solve the problem. And then apart from that, this Atiku Abubakar, do you think this is the kind of person that Nigeria needs at this time as a president? We have never had him talk about any serious issue. We've never seen him talking about any serious plan to take Nigeria out of the woods. So, is it the kind of person Nigeria needs?
Thank you very much for that question. I think before I actually answer that question, let me actually lay back a backdrop of what the situation actually is. As of the time that Atiku Abubakar was nominated as the party's flag bearer for the 2023 elections, the leader of the party and the chairman of the board of trustees were both known. Because just 3 days ago, in a bid to try and maybe placate the UK group within the party, the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Atiku, actually resigned his post, and he was replaced with Adolfo Swagara, former Senate President. But that will tell you how lopsided the party machinery appears to have been. Now, let's remember that at the time when the party lost the 2019 election, the people within the Wike's camp were actually those who stood around and rebuilt the party. Because if you listen to Governor Thompson, one of the things I was saying was that it was actually Wike that brought him back to the people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are people who have put in their sweat, their money, into the party, only to be toyed around by Atiku. So just for us to kind of understand the background. Now, you asked a question. In any form of diplomacy, people come to the table with their interests. Okay? So I have interest, other parties to have interest, and then we negotiate. It's a give and take. The same thing happens within the international community. But when you have candidates, and I would say Atiku is probably one of them, who believe that they can get their own interests solely by basically paying that people's price. That belief that every man has his own price.
Yeah.
And as long as they can make that price, then that's it. Because these prices should not have gotten this bad. The moment Atiku was elected in particular era, he should have asked some of the northern officials to resign, to be replaced by southerners, to create a proper balance. That's what a leader does.
Yeah.
You preempt these types of issues and you address them head on. Initially, he never had direct talks with Wike until eventually he was forced to. He didn't provide any resolution. So, in my mind, I don't think Atiku is a true leader. I think he's a leader wannabe. Sorry to kind of use that word. He does not have the qualities of a leader. These are people who traditionally don't respect other people's aspirations because they've never really played by the rules. And you rightly assess the situation. Before, they would solve a problem by throwing money at it, believing that everyone has its own rights. They've now met an opposition that is not asking for money, but is asking for legitimate strategic changes, which is potentially against their own interests, and they are not willing to compromise on that. That's what's happening right now. And that's why I think it makes him fit to be a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Paul. Demola, going by what you have just laid out, do you think that a character like Atiku Abubakar, I'm sorry to use that word, somebody whose modus operandi is throwing money at problems, and there's a problem, you just throw money at it and buy people off. But now they've met somebody who's not looking for power, he's actually looking for this power. The South is now telling him that, listen, we want this power, we're not interested in the money. And people like Sheyi Makinde, people like Autumn, people like the governor Gov, they are all now gathered together and say, this is not a matter of just bribing somebody and getting your way. No, we want this power. It's our turn. Well, Atiku has shown himself as somebody who does not respect Nigerian constitution, does not represent the constitution of his own party. He does not have no respect for everybody, and just going about as if this is a done deal. I'm the next president. Is that the kind of president that we should be looking at in 2023?
Atiku throwing money at every issue is typical of corrupt politicians. When they believe this is where we need to be very careful and try to avoid or prevent our politicians being so corrupt, because that is what they do. They get the money, they steal the money from us, and they throw it at us to get whatever they want because they believe they have the money. And because they don't work for the money, they don't feel it. So it's not something that is not is strange in itself, because throwing money is, if it is a money that you work hard for, you really want to throw it out just like that to anything. And it also shows weakness of lack of initiative, lack of compromise. I mean, crisis management ability. The issue with Atiku being called a unifier is an irony. It's totally strange from what his character actually is. He has never displayed in any of his public life to be a unifier. He has always been a destabilizer. Even when either in APC or PDP, he has never been a unifier. He destabilizes things, he creates division so that he can get away with his own personal interest. So it's never a unifier and will never be a unifier. If he is a unifier, the simple solution to this would have been for him to sacrifice himself for the unity of the country and for the interest of his party, and not to contest this primary in itself, or even have abdicated that position before the crisis go to this far. Yeah, so he is never a unifier, and the crisis will never be resolved, because you have legitimate right to that position. And all those people that are elected have under the party primaries have legitimate right to that position. The failure, as Lighton said, is the National Working Committee that failed to stand firm on the party constitution and prevent Atiku from contesting in the first instance.
Yeah. Yes.
It should have never become, because they are so corrupt, because they are able, because Atiku is able to buy their conscience, and then is able to usurp himself as the flag bearer of the party. So the crisis will live forever until the end, and that is telling you where the party is going on this general election. On national level, they should not be. Buhari cannot be there. A northerner be there for 8 years, and you expect another northerner to be there again. It's unfair on the other regions. It's unfair on the. If we said we are rotating and we are making federal character, then it should be all over, not only in other sphere of life, but also in political representation as well.
Thank you very much, Ademola. Later.
Yeah.
The question for you is a little bit different. Atiku, despite the fact that the core of PDP votes in the last two dispensations has always come from the Southeast and the South-South. In fact, in the last election, when Atiku was their presidential candidate, 90% of their votes was from the Southeast and the South-South. Now, Peter Obi has left the party, and Peter Obi will have a large chunk of Igbo votes, unless the Igbos are no longer Igbos. If the Igbos are still Igbos and Peter Obi is their son, I am thinking that they will vote for their son. That's number two. Wike has been saying now that, listen, the largest state, the state that delivered the largest votes for PDP in the last 2-3 dispensations is Rivers State. And I'm taking this out of Rivers, of the Rivers column. So if Obi is out, Wike is out, so they're not going to deliver vote now for PDP. Why is Atiku going about as if it's a done deal?
I can't read his mind. I'm not a soothsayer or clairvoyant, but I believe he has that confidence, a Dutch confidence, also say. But my take is his vote, the score has been depleted. More especially from the south, southeast, right? Not only that, southwest, he can't score. I doubt if PDP can score 25%. It will be a battle in Southwest. It will be a battle between APC and Labour Party, right? And I know the majority of people are routing for him. The educational, I mean, the enlightened ones among the Yorubas, they will not go out to vote that day. They are just routing for him. I know they will be in their houses. And the Igbos, they will go out to go and vote for him. And the party members in APC and some disenchanted people from PDP, they will go and vote for APC that day. So I believe Atiku believe that he can be a roadside, that he will before the election, he will manage their crisis and everything will be sorted out. But I doubt very much with the way things are going, right? He believes he can buy everybody, he can name your price. Abba just said it in his book that people believe that there's nobody he can't buy. He throw money anyhow, he do that. He got him money. He threw it anyhow. Like Demola said, if he had worked hard for that money, he would not be giving it out. Right? Like that, just free money, just giving anybody. Name your price, I will give it. Because it's our money. It's just giving us money that belongs to us. So I enjoy people to collect the money but not do his bidding. That is my take.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Lighter. Shupo, the question I want you also to ask is the same. Because are we missing something? When you look at the mathematics, let's look at the statistics. This is a party that is dependent on South and Southeast votes. Obi has left that party. He has taken 5 core Igbo states out. That's the way I see it. Wike has taken Rivers out. So in South and Southeast, we have
Boyi too.
Yeah. So if you take those 6 states out, we have only about 3 states left. If you look in Cross River is now an APC state. The governor is an APC governor. If you look at Akwa Ibom, their strong man, Akpabio, is now in APC. So if you are a politician and you are a tactician and you are a calculator and you want to win and you are looking at that kind of event and you are still going around as if, yes, what are we missing? What are we missing?
So I don't think we're missing anything. I think what you described so eloquently is democracy in the street. Or I would say should be democracy in the street, where when you are feeling and listening and you are hearing where people are kind of going, you change your strategy to ensure you can win more support and become more of an inclusive campaign. Well, all of that goes out of the window if you have your own ideas as to how you are going to win the election anyway. So you are only going to change your tactics and be more of an inclusive candidate if the votes of the people truly matter to you. But if you have alternative ways in which you decided you are going to use to win the election, who cares? So this is the mentality of the man Atiku Abubakar. If we were talking about the rule of law and democracy, how it should play out, he should have made a lot of changes. But actually, I would probably say the easiest way to resolve this issue would have been for him not to protest. He never listened. Why? Again, because he didn't think the will of the Southerners or the will of the people mattered anyway. It was all about his own selfish ambition. And he's facing that challenge right now. If changing his strategy to be more inclusive would have been the way for him to win, he would have done it. I think what we're seeing is that he hasn't really considered that as an option because he has other ideas as to how he intends to win the incoming election.
Thank you very much, Shupo. Demola, I'm sorry to ask you this question, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Let's assume that by some means of magic wand, by some diabolical or some means, Atiku wins to 2023. Do you foresee trouble in Nigeria? After an 8-year rule of Buhari, one Fulani man, another Fulani man wins an election. Do you foresee any problem?
I pray not. I pray not. One, I pray not that he won. And I pray not that we have any, if he eventually won, I pray that we still have a stability, which will be very dicey. The state of the country now is very tense. Either we like it or not, we have tribal sentiment in Nigeria.
Mm.
On political level, we are tribal sensitive. At most other level, we relate well with each other. We either economically or whatever, we socially, Nigeria always stay together. But when it becomes politics, everybody go to their tent.
Mm.
And that is the reality of the situation now. We hope this will change over time, but as present, that is the situation. Now, the sensitivities of this tribal region, that is why this thing have been the tradition of rotating the presidency within the regions or within the three major tribes. That is why it comes in. And this is why I said this is the triple stand on which this unity of the country stand as of today. So if the North is seen as not being sincere with the rotation or sharing of power, then it may give room for all this tribal sentiment or agitation for secession. And this should not be allowed to happen. And this drumbeat of secession, of the breakdown of the country, will reach a high level if Atiku eventually wins. This is a sensitive area why Atiku, in all situations, should not even be able to win that election. Otherwise, it will create more trouble than the benefit they think the North will gain from it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Demola. Lighton, if by any chance in the wilderness, by any drop of water in the ocean, if Atiku wins to 2023 and Buhari, a Fulani man after 8 years, and they handles the battles over another Fulani man, what do you think will happen in Nigeria?
I pray it doesn't happen. In the sense that it will just be a continuation of war, killing, maiming, abducting of people. Like these people, they believe that, okay, we are there. That is why the military are doing their fighting. That is why the police are doing their fighting. The Air Force, all these people. Even what is it called? Security, civil defense. They went to people's farm. They were beating them that they don't allow cows to eat their farm, their plants. I mean, so everybody and if Atiku should win, God forbid, if Atiku wins the election at 2023, God forbid, they will just be killing, and it will just the annexation and integration of their people among our midst will just continue unabated. And that is what I believe it should not happen. Come to think of it, where there is no justice, there will not be any fair play. There will not be peace, right? When we are two south north, where the north continue there, spend 8 years, and we want to continue again as a northerner. It is even unheard of. Why should the PDP allow him to come and stand for election? When the constitution of the PDP say there should be rotational presidency, right? I heard Dr. Bessie say that it was this guy, it was Jonathan that truncated that spent the rest of the year of Yadua that truncated no, it is not done. After Jonathan, then let somebody else from the north spend 4 years or so, whatever years that remain for your Yadua to spend. then Southerners should continue. We cannot just continue like this. And some people, some section of the country will be over us for donkey years and nothing to show for it. They are the most backward and the most uneducated, the criminal people, the most where the killers come from every day. The troubler of Nigeria, they are the people. So they should not continue, right? To give Nigeria peace and sense of belonging. Then the Southerners should be the next president in Nigeria. That is my take.
Thank you very much, Lighton. So, Shupo, we are rounding up now. So, I want you to look in the camera and, I want you to advise Nigerians. You have a party, the PDP. Now, when people are complaining about APC that there is nepotism. When you look at how power is shared, there are more northerners, especially in the security forces, and even in every aspect, everything have been northernized, and people are already complaining about this. Now you have a PDP government that has not come to power. The president and the chairman of the party, not. The presidential candidate, not. The head of their BOT, until 2 days ago, after a lot of shout, the head of the BOT, not, everything not. They have not got to power, and they are monopolized. They are telling you that we are not. Is that the kind of party people should vote for? Unmute, please.
I know the Wike group have said that they are not going to be. But if I were you, I would simply just ask them to rename the party Northern Democratic Party of Nigeria. I think that would be the easiest and the simplest way to make it obvious.
Yeah.
I think what we are seeing is exactly how a candidate Atiku's presidency will be. It will be rocked by scandals, it will be rocked by infighting, it will be rocked by Atiku, pretty much doing whatever he wants to do, at even to the detriment of the entire country, as long as he gets his way. I don't think this is the kind of leadership that Nigeria needs at this crucial time in its history. I think Nigeria needs a candidate to be president that can actually unite the country, that can actually balance, power between all the regions. I think predominantly between North and the South, but strategically all six geopolitical zones. And Atiku has not really demonstrated that he's able to do that, unfortunately. So I think that makes him qualified. And this is the reason actually why I believe that he's going to have an abysmal showing in the elections, probably going to come third. I think in my mind, either Peter Obi or Ashwaku Bola is likely kind of casting for second. And as such, will be eliminated from any future ballots if any of them not reach the profession.
Thank you very much, Demola. The same question. You have a president in waiting, supposedly, Atiku Abubakar, who, even before the election, is already oppressing Nigerians. It's oppressing Southerners. He's saying that Southerners are stupid. I mean, how can you have presidential candidate not, party chairman not, built not, and you feel like it's normal? Is that the kind of president that we need in Nigeria?
God forbid that we should have somebody like that again, because if we say we never had it before, we are lying. Because the current dispensation is more in line with that type of belief. And if that continues, then we are looking at total domination of the whole country, without any respect for any other regions. Not only on the other better regions, but even disrespect for qualities of leadership, and also total disregard for 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 people that are really qualified for qualification to position of power, other than just because you are a tribal, my tribal tribe man, and that we never, no country in the world behave in that way and be progressive. So it's a good thing that this crisis is happening in the PDP, because otherwise, if they go like this and become apt to be in power, then the country is doomed. So it's a lesson for every other, not only, this is happening at the national level, also the state levels, each regions, each state also need to realize that power should be rotated, should be shifted along all representation of the state, and make sure that everybody is inclusive. And if there is not, then this type of crisis can happen in any state as well.
Thank you very much, Ademola. And Lighter, when you look at Demola's statement and Lawal's statement, why does Atiku think that he can just rub, show, elbow Southerners and think? Why does he think? Does he think that Southerners are stupid people?
That
Just
is the
elbow them
mentality of
eh?
that is the mentality of the average Nigerian rich people. They believe that there's nothing they can do. Everything they can do and get away with it. Right? So how can you believe that? Well, once I seal everybody's mouth with money, they be keep quiet. The way they do that is they are full of impunity. Right? That nothing will come out of it. Everybody shout. Who wants to shout? What is your price? Name your price. I will give it to you. And everybody wants to subservient and queue behind them because of what they want to get. Nobody wants to offend them. Like, look at Buhari too. Nobody wants to challenge them. Their status quo. No, it's wrong. But now, thank God for a few governors like Wike, Akeredolu, and all these people. They are coming now. They are saying they are coming now to speak their mind. They don't speak in quiet. Like they don't agitate in solitary confinement. But they come out to say, yeah, this is what we want. This is how it should be run. This is how it should be done. Right. So likewise, Atiku, if people like Wike have been coming now, they are G3 now. The PDP, POB, Board of Trustees, and all these Nike and all these people, they are G3, that they don't want to lose the election. Already, which they've lost already. Right. So with the exit of Labour Obi from their party, Peter Obi from their party, and South, right? So the game is ended already. So I believe it is high time we know that human beings, they have important roles to play, right? Not only me, right? They should climb down from the high horse. That me, what can you do? I have the money. I can buy you over. I can do this. I can do that. I see no reason why you should have. When you wanted to choose Okowa, after you chose the board to go and choose who will be your vice president. Out of the 17, 13 people supported Wike, and you said no, you are going to print Okowa. You should have meet Wike one-on-one, not phoning him. Go to his house. Look how like a leader. A leader should be a servant, right? Go and meet him. A leader must be able to lead, to control, direct, organize. Meet him. Do this. This is what we want to do. But any choice of your commissioner, minister, whatever choice, whatever you want to do, let us sit down. Let us iron it out among ourselves. You don't want this thing to escalate, right? So it will be the one to tell those people who are supporting him, who are agitating for him, that no, we've settled it. Let's come to the round table. That is how it should have been. That is how it should have been.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Thank you, Lighton. So we've come to the end of today's meeting. But before we turn the lights off the studio, I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to say your social media declaration. And I'm going to open the floor by addressing the PDP crisis. And I want to tell the PDP, the party, the problem in your party is not Wike. The problem in your party is not you. As Demola said during one of his contributions, Atiku Abubakar should not be the presidential candidate of your party. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. A full Buhari, President Muhammadu Buhari is a Fulani extraction. Fulani is just one tribe out of about 300 tribes in Nigeria. Buhari is a Fulani extraction, and we are not expecting a Fulani man after 8 years to hand over to another Fulani man. It's not going to happen, and it should not happen. So if you love Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, you should resign honorably and allow the PDP to have peace. Allow Nigeria to have peace. That is my take. So I'm going coming on to you, Olalawa. What is your social media declaration?
Well, my social media declaration is that the reasonable people within the PDP should do what is needed. Because a viable democracy really needs a true functioning opposition party. They may be the opposition now. They have an opportunity to actually take over the helm of affairs. And I think this is a perfect opportunity for them to do. The records of this current administration, especially in the areas of the economy, security, and all that, is abysmal. They have an opportunity, and that opportunity can be wasted if they do not address these crises head on, do what is needful, and show Nigeria that they are a party that can govern and do what is needed for the national stage.
Thank you very much, Chubo. And Mr. Ademola Adisa from England, what is your social media declaration?
The unity of Nigeria is paramount and above every other personal interest. In the unity of the country, it's advisable that PDP should put their house in order and follow their constitution. If they cannot respect the constitution of the party, how can they respect the constitution of Nigeria? This is a very serious precedent they are laying that is not good for our political dispensation. So they should go back to the drawing board and correct the error now. It's never too late. It's not election day yet. Even campaign has not started. It can still be rectified. They should do the right thing honorably. The right things are not always easy. They are always difficult, but it can still be done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Demola, for that wonderful conversation. And Mr. Olaitan, what is your social media declaration for today?
Yeah, my social media declaration is a leader must be able to make a sacrifice, even at the price of pain. Right? A leader must be able to stand out, to show the way that, okay, in the interest of peace and harmony in my party, I love my party, I love Nigeria, but I want to honorably resign my post. It has been cheese to the south. So, honorably, I will not have contested. Atiku should not have contested the election under the PDP. Say that we want to contest. He should allow the Southerner, person of Wike and all these people they should choose among themselves to be the PDP presidential candidate. That is my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we come to the end of today's deliberation. And I want to thank all our viewers for watching. If you are watching and you have not yet subscribed, please hit that subscription button. It's free of charge. You're not charged for it. And please like our videos and then tell all your friends about it. And before we shut down the lights, let me say thank you to Mr. Olaitan Adedigba, who is based in United States of America. Mr. Adedigba, thank you for your contributions.
Thanks for having me.
And also Mr. Ademola Adisa in the United Kingdom. Thank you for your wonderful contribution, Mr. Adisa.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And the last but not the least, Mr. Lalawa from Canada. Mr. Lalawa, thank you for your wonderful contribution for today.
Thanks for having me.
And to all our viewers, thank you for viewing, and we hope to see you again next week. God bless you.